Let's talk a little bit about your role and how you fulfill that in the community.
Sure. So, well, in talking about my role, it's executive director of 100 Black Men of Metropolitan St. Louis. So, day to day overseeing the operations and outreach from a perspective of community relations for this great organization, 100 Black Men of Metropolitan St. Louis. Now, the 100 St. Louis chapter is just one of more than 106 chapters throughout the United States, London, England, and South Africa. All of the organizations focus on what we call for the future, and that's mentoring, education, health and wellness, and economic empowerment. And so we have programs and initiatives in all of those core areas. First off, starting in the role of mentoring, we do both one-on-one mentoring, but primarily group mentoring as our focus. We have what's called our AAU program, which stands for Arms Around Us, and it's a leadership academy. And so we have a school-based program where we go into the schools and facilitate our mentoring program, both at the elementary level in the Normandy district at Barack Obama Elementary, also at the high school level at Cardinal Ritter College Prep, and we work there. And then we're also at the Juvenile Detention Center. And all of those areas we focus on life skills and character building. Everything from goal setting, conflict resolution, addressing peer pressure, financial literacy, and preparation for employment or job placement. And so that's the culmination of our mentoring. Through that track, we also have our Collegiate 100, and we've got 3 chapters. The primary one is here in St. Louis on the campus of Harris Stowe State University. That's the oldest chapter. We also have a new chapter forming on the campus of UMSL, University of Missouri St. Louis, and then also at Lincoln University. And with these 3 collegiate chapters, they focus on the same for the future areas as well of mentoring, education, health and wellness, economic empowerment, but there's also an additional area which is retention, because we want to make sure that these college students stay in school, finish up their degree, and are ready to become productive working citizens out in the community.
When you mention an organization has 100 and some odd branches, that lets everyone know that there's obviously a need for this resource.
Yeah, definitely a need. When you look at the statistics and the challenges with education, you look at the lack of growth and challenges with African American males in particular. So the 100 fills that void to make sure that we provide programming from a mentoring perspective to make sure that these young men and women we work with as well are provided with the right tools necessary to enhance their growth, both character-wise, life skills, providing them with the tools necessary to be successful. And in the area of education, we put forth efforts through scholarship programs, providing resources for individuals who want to pursue higher education, whether it be a community college, a university, or even at a trade school. And so we have our Black History essay contest and our urban scholarship programs that we facilitate to provide that resource to assist these young individuals.
Let's talk about our Black men. How far have we come? How far do we have to go to making sure we're nurturing, we're cultivating, and we are responding to the needs of our Black men?
Well, in a lot of ways through the organization, not just with the local chapter, but nationally, we've come a long way with those students who may have not been on the right path, who are influenced by, negative mentors, if you will, influenced by the streets. And so we have a motto: what they see is what they'll be. And so our role and responsibility as members who are majority volunteers, but individuals that come from all walks of life, corporate background, entrepreneurs, clergy, elected officials. It's our role and responsibility to get in there and engage these young people and be the role models for them so that they can be the individuals that they see. We've got a long way to go, obviously. I mean, a long way to go. And it's not going to happen overnight, but our role is to make sure that we are steadfast in implementing our programs, cultivating the relationships as through our mentoring programs, and being out there and giving them exposure to new opportunities. And so not just with the 100, but other community organizations as well. It takes a village, and we have to continue being present, making sure that we implement our initiatives and be in the face, if you will, of these youngsters that we can help develop.
I really want to get to the specifics of the needs that we still have to meet. So when you're out there navigating, meeting, chatting, where are the gaps that you see? And you're going, oh, we need to plug that. We need to come over here and assist with this. What are those specific needs that they have?
Well, I mean, the specific needs centered around jobs, employment, assisting with, making sure they pursue higher education, arming them with the tools of making progressive and productive everyday life decisions. And so that's what's important. That's what the need is. When we reach out to them, they all want that. It may be in a different industry. Our role is to expose them to the industry where they have the interest. If it's music, then we need to make sure that, they have an opportunity to go to, whether it's the radio station, to a recording studio, understand the business behind it. If it's in, financial industry, then plug them up with opportunities to get exposure to the financial industry, and we do that through our financial literacy program, helping them understand the basics, budgeting, investing, saving. So it's so many, the needs are widespread, but it's really making sure they get exposure to it and just building a relationship, because oftentimes there's a lot of, there's pushback, there's skepticism, but through the group mentoring, it opens up the opportunity to build and develop a relationship so that there's a level of trust, and then they can continue on with cultivating that relationship. And so that gap is really exposure and providing them with the skills and the training necessary for them to continue on.
The resources and the services that you talk about are much needed, certainly, no question about it. But there are a lot of organizations doing what you do. What makes you different?
So what makes us different is the obvious. We're black men that are implementing these services and giving back to the community. And it's a great deal of professionals who are involved with the organization. So it's a very unique group of men who are there, who are present, that are role models for young people coming up to get exposure to individuals that they see beyond just the streets. And so we sit in a very unique position to offer the services that we have. By no means are we the only entity, like you said, that's out there. It takes a village. And just with our group, we can't touch everybody because the need is so big. And that's one of the important things about working in this community, is that the 100 is open, and we do collaborate with other partners because, again, it takes, a myriad of individuals to get involved.
All hands on deck,
Absolutely.
so to speak.
Absolutely.
The quote-unquote young black man and then the adult black male. How do you differentiate the ways in which you serve the two?
So primarily through our programs, it's the youth. It's the ages of 9 through 18. So we facilitate our Leadership Academy AAU program targeting that demographics. So exposure at an early age is key because they have an opportunity to learn and develop and get on the right track. And if they've got, concerns, whether it be at home or somewhere else, then, they're at least guided in the right direction through the mentorship and the leadership of the members of the organization. At that 21 and over age, we don't necessarily have a program structured for them per se. However, through our collegiate 100, it does hit that 18 to 21, 22 age range, and that's where we're developing the next generation of leaders. So that's kind of the scope of what our niche is and what we provide.
Let's talk about the gala. You're going to once again be giving back, honoring some members of the community. Tell me a little bit about the event that's scheduled for October 4th.
So October 4th is our annual Black Tie Gala, and it's celebrating 31 years of service as an organization. What we do is highlight those individuals both in the community and some that are in the organization in our 4 pillars of mentoring, education, health and wellness, and economic empowerment. So the committee, through research and nomination, identifies those individuals individuals, and we acknowledge them, we highlight them. We also acknowledge the recipients of the scholarship awards that have been received throughout the year, and it's a way to celebrate the organization, the work, and raise funds so that we can continue our programs and initiatives. And again, like I said, it's in the area of mentoring, education. There's also health and wellness, which is a major area of focus for the 100. There's two tracks to the health and wellness as well. One is our Prostate Cancer Survivors and Awareness Run Walk, which has expanded into a community health day. And with that particular initiative, prostate cancer is the leading cause of cancer-related deaths, specifically in African American men. But if it's detected early, it is treatable. And so what we do is provide education, awareness, outreach, and free PSA screenings to help save lives and look at whether it's treatment or awareness, education, and prevention for prostate cancer. And then there's our barbershop tour, where we go into the barbershops where men pretty much hang out. And in the barbershops, we talk about anything and everything. So our role is to go in there and dispel myths that come up about health disparities. So we partner with St. Louis University School of Nurses to go in and do blood pressure checks. We also provide information and education about HIV and AIDS. And then we also provide free vouchers for PSA tests for prostate cancer. So that health and wellness track is another key important area. And again, that along with the other three areas for our Forth for the Future will be highlighted at our annual Black Tie Gala.
So if someone's thinking about coming out, give them some details and
Sure.
entice them a little bit.
Sure, well, it's fun. It's a celebration. And so there's so much that's going on that individuals will be able to engage in. It starts with the pre-reception at 6 o'clock, so all of the honorees and the sponsors will be there. It's a chance to network, so when you're trying to, I guess, get a relationship and interact with corporations who are involved in the community, they will be at that VIP reception. There's light entertainment and hors d'oeuvres there. Then we transition to the actual gala itself. And this year, the theme is Soaring to Higher Heights. So we're talking about how the organization has evolved over the years, how our programming has been able to soar to higher heights, and some of the youth that have been involved with the program have soared to higher heights, whether they started early on, going through high school, been a part of our Collegiate 100, and now with the Emerging 100, which are the young professionals that are part of the organization. So all of them will be highlighted, but they get a chance to come out, celebrate, live entertainment from both adults, jazz band, R&B performers, and then we honor the awardees. So it's a fun evening of celebration and entertainment.
And should they come dressed to impress? Suit and tie, formal wear?
Absolutely. It's a black tie event. So the attire for gentlemen are tuxedos, and for ladies it's the after 5 attire. Get a chance to dress up, come out, look good, feel good, and just enjoy an evening of entertainment, celebration, and highlighting those individuals who are doing some great things in the community.
And of course, helping to support a much needed resource such as
Yes.
your organization. You've talked about a lot of the services that you provide, but there are always challenges for any organization. So what's the next step to reaching higher heights, so to speak, for you guys in your own organization? How are you taking steps to progress, and what are some of the challenges?
Sure. For us, the entire organization is all volunteer with the exception of 2 staff, but it's all volunteer. And so what we need are more volunteers to come on board, more members to come on board. There are annual membership dues, but those proceeds go to fund and support the programs that we implement. So we're opening up our doors to candidates for membership who are really interested in rolling up their sleeves, getting involved, so that we could build our volunteer base and participation with the organization. And then also we're looking to build capacity. So as we continue to reach out and look at different grant opportunities, we want to make sure that our capacity is such that we can expand the services that we offer so that we can service more young people.
Is it difficult to balance your approach to Ferguson in your role? on the one hand, you're trying to make sure you voice the needs of the Black community, and on the other hand, you're trying to include law enforcement in the discussion so that we can all reach some sort of starting point. Is it difficult to balance that? Because you're almost in the middle.
Well, it's absolutely difficult. I mean, you've got St. Louis is already segregated, if you will, by its population. You know, North Side. There's a racial disparity. There's a disparity with the law enforcement in the community. But the only way to address these challenges and these issues is to sit down, discuss them, understand what the concerns are on each side, and once they're all put on the table, then you can begin to address them. And when there's transparency, there's honesty, hey, we can deal with this or we can't, then it opens up the door of opportunity to begin to build trust. And look at next steps forward. And there's accountability and responsibility on both sides. So as long as there's a respectful environment and the opportunity and the space and the platform to communicate those concerns and those challenges, then I think that step by step we can and we will begin to resolve some of the challenges. It's not going to happen overnight,
Right.
but again, it has to be addressed. Otherwise, it can only get worse. One last thing I just want to share, again, I think I emphasize that when there's a common goal, a common focus, everyone wants a better place. But what a better place, what a better community means to people, that definition is described in different ways. I think everyone, wants to be healthy. Everyone wants a safe community, a safe neighborhood. Everyone wants an opportunity for fair economic advancement. And everyone wants a good education, a quality education, which is the foundation to be able to get all of the above, which was just communicated. And unfortunately, at times when there's a major shakeup where there's an issue stemming from the Ferguson unrest and the Michael Brown shooting, it's been an issue across this nation. But this has unfortunately this situation has made the nation wake up and begin to address a lot of these challenges, dealing with the racial disparity and dealing with the economic disparity and all of the challenges that we have. So with that, I think everyone is open and interested in looking at solutions, and everyone has a common focus to get to that point. We just have to be able to be open and listen, as well as exert our area of interest and what we see as success and solutions. And then as they're put out on the table, strategically working collectively to get to those solutions. And I think we will begin to see our community change.